live on X. I love Biotech Scanner. We are live on X right now, and we're going live on Instagram as soon as it lets me. Here we go. Instagram's got, we got some. It's not like X, but we've got some solid followers there, man. Like,
Oh
there's
yeah.
actually a tail patient on there.
Why
There's
is
a
that
patient on there.
on X? Why does it say this broadcast is not available?
They're watching. I see
They
them.
are okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
Let me pull. Yeah, they're getting in the room now, and if you can hear us and you're on X, let me know. Yeah, it's on. It's
Good.
available. Yeah.
Good. Okay. What about YouTube? Are you doing YouTube or no?
Later. I do
Later.
YouTube
Okay.
later. YouTube
Okay.
doesn't respect the live, but they respect it after, like the post. But
They
I was gonna
respect the
say,
afterlife.
yes. We have actually mucosal melanoma survivor on Instagram is watching.
Oh,
This is a
okay.
TIL fan. I don't know if he actually participated in an iova study, but maybe. Leave in the comments, mucosal melanoma survivor. Thank you for the follow. Maybe we'll get him on the show one of these days, but he's on
Love
Instagram.
to.
So Instagram's
Wow.
been getting big, as far as the
What's the
investment
name of
community.
the patient?
Mucosal melanoma survivor.
Oh, okay.
He says, cheers. Yes, I did. So we have a former study participant
Okay.
on the
Wow.
show, melanoma survivor.
Wow.
And he's watching on Instagram. I can't put your
Um,
comment up on the screen because this
I'm
software won't let me with Instagram ones, but
I'm
I see you there.
humbled by that. Glad that he
That brings
survived
it
or
home,
she.
man. That
Yeah.
brings it home because
Yep.
this is, I know, like, most people watch it for the money, right? But God forbid
Yep.
this becomes about something else for one of us, you know?
That's what I said yesterday. I said, even if you are not investing in Iovance, everyone should be rooting for the company because we just don't know. One of these
Mhm.
days, one of us or one of our loved ones or friends or family, whatever, we're gonna need it. And and I'm gonna kind of say something up front. I'll tell you right now, everyone watching and everyone else watching after this thing is over,
Yes.
that TIL therapy is not just the present. It will be the future. And I'll talk more about that later on. That so many research institutions right now,
Yep.
researching TIL treatment.
We're going to get into that. Mucosal melanoma survivor commented, I am the very last patient that was dosed in the C1401 trial on 1/15/2020.
Wow. He sounded like that guy named Derek White.
Let me know if you're Derek White, but
Yeah. Yeah.
we follow each other on Instagram.
Derek White was the very last one. He's the one that that got melanoma right at his rectum, and then it spread all over the place. And he was approved to the study to Antagogy study in Denver, but then at last minute they found that it spread to his brain. Okay, so I mean he's planning his funeral. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then they said, well, we have to kick you out of the study because you have to get that brain tumor control, or you cannot participate in the study. And then he got on it, and he got radiated. He got radiation for his brain tumor. And last minute, he was the last patient admitted to that study. And guess what he got? He got a no evidence of disease. He got a CR. I mean,
Big time.
imagine this. He was planning his funeral.
That
Okay.
brings it home, man. That
Yes.
brings it home. I know most watch for the trading and the stock. I think what makes Biotech Scanner and myself unique is that not only we're into the stock stuff, but we both work in the medical industry. You on the pharma sales side, me on the research side. It's actually like both ends of the bridge, right?
Yeah.
we see the patients, you hear about them. I actually see them at my clinic. We're
Yeah.
not doing iova studies. Actually, I never invested in a stock I'm doing a study with that I would be public about. I won't
Right.
touch that at
Can't
all.
do that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It came a few
Yeah.
times I ran some by you, remember?
Yes. Yeah.
But I think that's what everyone should keep in mind is like, yeah, we're messing around with these stocks. We're making some money. You can lose money too, but it's patients' lives at the end. This is why the industry exists.
Yeah. And then sometimes they say, "Oh, you all are pumpers," or I am in particular. Okay. So since the beginning of 2025, okay. So we are now in October.
Hold on, biotech. He answered, "That's me, but my name is Chris, not Derek,
Yes,
and
Chris.
I am one of the 12 mucosal patients and one of six
Yes.
with a
Oh
response."
my gosh. Chris
Chris, can
White.
we get you on the show next time, man?
Chris,
Or if you
he
want.
he now travels all over the world, speaking, sharing his testimony, and he was the very when I first revealed the ticker event, that was the number one story. I share his story a couple of hours before the FDA
Wow.
proved and tagged
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Just a couple of no, not even one, like maybe 30 minutes prior, it was announced that it was approved. I tweeted out his story. I follow him on LinkedIn. So
Okay, we're connected on Instagram, but Chris, if you don't mind biotech, we'll have him on next
yeah,
time.
love to. Would
Okay.
love. I love what he's doing. I mean, Chris, I thank you for doing what you're doing. I'm just investing. Dan is just investing. But for me, it's always about more than just investing. And to my point a while ago, but I asked you, Dan, how many tickers have I released in biotech this year? If I am a stock pumper, how many do I churn out?
I haven't seen. Oh, the only one was iova that I
Yeah,
saw.
I'm telling you, that's. But if you go to
AQST was
other,
last year or two. No, AQST was longer. I've
yeah,
known you long.
yeah.
We're both in
So
on this.
basically, this year, it's
Respect to
just
Chris.
you know. But yeah, thank you, Chris. Really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, he's adding more color. I had a 50 to 60% reductions within 6 weeks, a CMR by 8 or 9 months after day zero. God bless you, man. And we're going to get you on. If you don't mind, I'm going to DM you. We'll get you on the show next time to talk about this.
Yes, so I know his story really well because it was so inspiring. And the thing that makes it even more inspiring to me is that he didn't take that life saving or second chance of life and there's nothing with it. But he
Hmm.
could go on to start still doing what he was doing, right?
Hmm.
But he's just, being a teal therapy disciple and just sharing the good word. And it to me is so inspiring. I cannot say enough about what an amazing job
Hmm.
Chris is doing now, to the point of being stock pumpers or whatever. Okay. If I were that, if I were only that, would I bother to dig up stories like Chris White and
No,
share with you?
you would be looking for the next stock to pump. But
Yes.
I think what a lot of people, they accuse me of the same, and I know they accuse you of it more. We don't speak too negatively about our stocks. Like when we pick, AQST I didn't find because of you. I actually found that on my own, but I found you after. I'm like, oh, dude, I got this, dude, I got iova. I did, and then I guess we're accused of like not talking like the straw man, right? Like
Right.
what's wrong about this? And
Right.
we might do it in our head. And I've done it
Yeah.
on the show a few times for
Yeah.
AQST. I don't know enough about iova yet to even come up with one. I don't know the oncology space very well. But that's what people are saying. It's not so much that you're just pumping a
Ah,
bunch of stocks.
right.
It's
Right.
that when it's like they think you're not honest about the negative parts of it, which
Gotcha.
we kind of discussed on the show.
Yeah, yeah. And of course we talk about, and I've talked about the reasoning behind it. Not me. We have talked negative things about it, but what happens is um, the people who short this stock,
Yeah,
okay, they want us to use this airtime
yeah,
to do their work. So
yeah.
that's another thing, because in my post and presentation, usually when I release a ticker, I usually would at the beginning share the risk that's involved. Hey, what could happen and things like that. But you and I know this, that what the shorts do is they want to take our airtime and spreading fear. Okay, there
Yeah,
is the difference between sharing the risk and spreading FUD, and
yeah.
we have to walk a fine line. But for me, after I release a ticket, that means there are much more positive than negative before I even release it to the
Mm-hmm.
community.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, for me, aqst, ivans, and gsrt, there are negative on each of them, right? But to me, there are much more positives, right? So let's dive in. We're
Yeah,
gonna
let's
talk
dive
about
in. I'll let
three.
you cook. I'll let you cook.
All right, three tickers today. aqst first. All right,
Oh,
let's
and
let's
really quick. So Chris said, I published a book called Killing Cancer with Tails. It's available on Amazon in paperback. Everybody check it out. Killing Cancer with Tails. I'm gonna buy it.
I'm gonna
And
buy it.
then yeah, we'll read it.
Yeah,
We'll book
yeah,
review it. And then
yeah.
I started a podcast called Till Talks, and I was going to reach out to you about being a guest. So thank you. Okay. Just
All
wanted to
right.
get that out of the way. Shout out to Chris. We'll have him on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah. We'll buy the book, read it,
Mm.
and then have him on.
Yep,
That
yep,
way we can talk about the
yep.
book as well. But yeah, thank you, Chris. So AQST, Aquestive Therapeutics. Um, this is the one that I've. This is the one that hit close home to me because I lost my sister, because of an anaphylaxis shock. And before I announced ticker, I said, hey, this next ticker is going to be very personal to me. And so I announced that, kind of, not a hint, but,
Mm.
kind of put it out there.
That's the tweet I discovered you on.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we have now on this journey for about a year and a half. And everything that I have said about this company, every single clinical trials that it went through, every single thing that I said would happen, all of these trials. So I released this ticker maybe probably about 2 months before the phase 3 trial results came. And I predicted, based on my research, that it's going to be positive. And Lord and behold, the data came, and it was Anafilm achieved primary and secondary endpoints, right? But that's not good enough. And then of course the stock soared to from I bought it at about 284, and then it rose all the way to 623. All right. And then there was a Libervant approval in between that for pediatric population. And then, of course, people took profit, sold off. I took profit, and you know, I don't ever apologize for selling the stock.
Yeah, I
Um,
got
but
out too. I was in early. I was in because of the Libervant, and then when
yeah,
it got approved, I got out,
yeah,
and then I averaged back into it because I learned
yes,
from you about
yeah,
the
yeah,
epinephrine.
I've done that 2 or 3 times, and
Yeah.
that's because of the VKTX is the first ticket I released, and VKTX doubled my portfolio,
Mm,
and so
mm,
my portfolio was small, so I had to do these things to expand it. So I have actually a pretty decent portfolio now. But anyways, so Anafilm um, is Aquesta Therapeutics is the company that I was very passionate about, and I shared so much DD on this, and so many people who claims to be either pharmacists, they are advisors at investment company, sell side, buy side, and all that, and they raise all of these concerns that Anafim could never be approved because look at the area under the curve at this timeline, and then blah 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 blah. You know, but I of course counter with data. It's always about data. It's always about what it does. And then after phase 3, Aquestive went on to do about 6 or 7 more clinical trials. One, the biggest ones, the Oasis trial, giving people pieces of fruit that they know that they are allergic to, and actually wanted a reaction, and then give them Anaphylm to see how it does. And of course, it passed with flying colors.
The greatest study in all anything ever done on epinephrine.
Exactly. There's no, and the best thing about that, Dan, is that that study was conceived, and this is very important, by the FDA and the company. Okay. Now, let me tell you the story about Spry and Neffy. And Neffy got a CRL. Okay. A complete response from the FDA. Basically, it is a rejection. Okay. The FDA said you have to conduct a repeat dose trial for Neffy, before we review that, and we'll think about it. Okay. Whereas Aquestive takes no chance and ask the FDA, what do you think we should do? We've learned our lesson from what we saw. What would mitigate that, eliminate that from happening? And then they came up with the Oasis trial, which is way more complete and more detailed than just a repeat dose with random whatever healthy patients. I mean, they saw like what 94% of these patients had, all of them actually had some moderate to severe reactions. Okay. And then, but 94% of them, 95% of them, the side effects were only mild, moderate, and we required no medical intervention whatsoever. So it passed beautifully, and they found out that it got to Tmax within 12 minutes, which is 8 minutes faster than the closest, which is 20 minutes. So during an anaphylactic shock, do you know how long is 8 minutes? That is a lifetime, and it could cost lives, right?
It does cost lives, yeah.
Yeah. So here we are. After all these trials passed, the company filed an NDA. When the NDA was accepted, the FDA says we may do, we may require an AdCom, advisory committee, because it's a new route of delivery. All right, we may. So the company actually hired a professional firm to help them prepare for all of that. It costs money.
Yeah.
And actually, I was excited about it, even though most people don't want it. But I thought it was another catalyst, because I knew that the experts in the field, when they get in the room and they look at the data, they're going to be so impressed. I knew that's going to happen.
Yeah. And they invested in that. I mean, that's why the costs. That's why one of those quarters, I think it was quarter 1 of this year, was so bad.
Yeah.
Because all these extra investments into the NDA.
Yes. So then the FDA 2 weeks ago said we don't need advisory committee.
That's very rare.
That yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, But people forget, and this is so important, but people take it for granted, and they don't even remember that anything was given fast track designation. Now, let me explain that because I get so many questions. They get fast track. Does that mean they're going to get faster review? No. Okay, fast track is only meant meaning that the communications between the FDA and the company is basically they get more communication. That the company could pick up the phone and call the FDA.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're not given that status, you can't do that. You have to write them letters and wait for response. Okay. And now if you were given fast track and also given priority review, that's
That's
that's a
different. That's different.
that will remove that will change the timeline of
Hmm.
approval review from 10 months down to 6 months. Anything was not given priority review, it's no big deal.
Right.
Okay, so it is still just 10 months. All right, now,
That's where people get confused a lot. So thank you for that
yes, yes.
explanation.
And then the FDA assigned the PDUFA date, which is the announcement date of January 31st, 2026. Okay. So,
We got it all circled on our calendars.
yes, it could happen before
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
after that date, but typically before,
Yeah.
or not before or on. And actually, so anti-Iovance um, was approved late in the afternoon of that day.
Oof. People were
And
nervous.
yes, I was. What is funny about that was I was actually doing DD for events. I was doing it, and then
So
they
how
said,
long before? Because we'll jump into iovance now. But how? Anything else on AQST or?
so basically, I could see now. Basically, it becomes a binary event. The only thing left is just the decision from the FDA. There could be some potential catalyst if there may be a buyout, very possible. A partnership in Europe could be announced. Okay, but typically that happens after NFL is approved. And,
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah,
You might
so
hear
so
rumor. You might hear rumors, and it might move on some rumors.
yeah,
You
yeah,
never really know, or it might
yeah,
just get approved early. I mean, this new administration is the wild card. If anything, they seem to be pro smaller
yeah,
biotech,
yeah.
um,
This
which so far everything's in
and
our favor.
also, yeah. And what you're saying makes me even more bullish on Iovance, right?
That's you
So
like how I did that right
yes,
into what I was
nice
gonna ask you
segue.
because you're not as pumper. Like, I actually respect how much due diligence you do before you even mention anything. Like, even privately to people you know. Like, no, I have to do my due diligence. There must be dozens that you discard.
Yep.
But how long typically, like on iova, how
Okay.
long were you researching it before you went public about
Yeah.
iova? Just
Um,
approximate.
yes. It's I get I subscribe to these like tip rings, Bloomberg, different, news channels. So a lot of times they would pop up some news about a company. And I remember there was an article on TIL therapy.
Mhm.
And I read it, I'm like, gosh, this is so fascinating. And it just happened that they are about to, they had a PDUFA date. And I think it was like a month or two. Yeah, I think it was like 2 months. So
Mhm.
to me, that's perfect because I want that gives me enough time to do my due diligence and then decide if I want to invest. And then I would announce it, and it allows my followers to do their own diligence and then invest before the big catalyst hits, right? Because I don't want to rush them toward the end. And so typically it takes me at least a month. You know, on aqst, it took me longer, a lot longer. But yeah, it's I read a lot. I read a lot. I read a lot of scientific articles, a lot of read news. I spend a lot of time reading, just because I love medicine. You know,
Yeah.
I at once almost went to med school, but
Yeah.
my passion is still medicine. So
Me
I read
too,
a
man.
lot.
I didn't know you were a pre-med student. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was me.
yeah,
That was me
yeah.
too.
All
Now
right.
I ended up in research instead.
Right. But yeah, it takes me at least a month or two.
Okay.
Okay, just like you invited me to be on a on a podcast.
Yeah.
And what did I tell you when you invited me?
You said that'd be awesome, but you're not so sure about that stock.
But I'm talking about what did I tell you I needed to do before I get on a podcast with you?
Ah, that's right. Okay, sorry. So you had to study it. You don't want to get involved if there's any potential scam or anything. Like you
Yeah.
wanted to make sure
Yep.
this was legit. And I
Yep.
that's when I kind of knew too. I was like, no, this dude
Yep.
biotech, I mean, he takes it
Yeah.
seriously.
It's
And we're
just.
both on the fence about that one because I think it's a little expensive.
Yep.
And I think we have time. Phase 3 is a long and expensive
Yeah.
road. We
Yep.
know we're dealing with two companies that have cash flow problems right now.
Yes.
Yeah, Ty's financed by a billionaire, but
Yeah.
he only has so much too, right?
Yeah. So basically, um, before I release a ticker, because it involves other people's money. Okay. If it's my own money, I'm fine. I could
Yeah,
take a loss or whatever, man. But
yeah,
there's that burden that you bear. It's just there's people want a lot of followers, but they don't want the responsibility. You
yeah.
know.
The
And-
people are,
yeah, yeah, and there's
and that I
friends that,
think that's why people are they kind of project what
yeah,
other people do
yeah,
on you, and because they just expect that's the default. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
was kind of, when I didn't know you, I was kind of like, well, like
yeah,
I'm a skeptical, it's everything is good. Let me see what is going on here. And then I talked to you and I'm like, I learned your thesis more, the personal connection you have. You're just not a bullshitter, and you don't want to give the shorts the time of day. So I appreciate, I
yeah,
respect it.
yeah. So Iovance.
A good
Um,
one, a good one. You put me on
it's
this one.
yeah, it's I I I love this one. I truly am, because it has to be in any biotech investment. It has to be about the drug first and foremost. Okay, you could have the most amazing management. You could have Jensen Huang as a CEO, but you have a drug that sucks. It's not gonna help. Okay, that's just the way it is. Now it is the other way around. The drug can make the management look good. I have been a part of companies that are bad company, but the drug is so amazing. Okay. Um, and Iovance is okay.
Mhm.
So now the Iovance is at the most critical juncture of the company. At Q4 2025 is the most important part. Why is that? Okay. Because I tweeted out today there are 5 things that are about to drop, about to happen, that could derail this company completely, or we could head back toward 15, 14, 15, 18. Okay.
Wow.
But for me, at the current price, it's the floor. It's almost at cast level. All right. So to me, the risk is worth it because the reward is much more than risk. Okay, that's my opinion. The very first thing I want to say is, the first catalyst we're waiting on is non-small cell lung cancer. Okay, the
Huge.
market potential for this, the TAM for this, is about 7 times that of melanoma. All right. And the thing is, why I feel so good about this set of data is we already had a glimpse of it in 2023, even though it's a small number, but it had a 26% ORR, objective response rate, okay, and a duration of response already greater than 6 months. And it was just barely, the patient barely started. And what is Amtagvi's greatest strength? It's the duration of response. It lasts. Okay, look at how it did in second line melanoma. That duration of response is still not met. So it's gone out 5 years, still responding to Amtagvi, one time treatment, my friend. Let me remind you. All right.
One,
So
and the FDA loves, the new administration loves that, by the way.
yes. So okay, and then I'm going to go through them first, and I want to share with you what the company says and why, because of what they said, makes me feel very bullish. Two is the data for endometrial cancer, second line also, right? Again, just like non-small cell lung cancer, it's larger than melanoma, about twice, a little bit more than twice as large, maybe 3 times as large as melanoma. Huge. All right. I feel good about that too. Why? Because the bar is so low. There is nothing, okay, after the first waves of lines of treatment and the drug failed these patients, okay, there's nothing else besides chemo in second line. And the ORR for chemo is in single digits. All right. Single digits. This is not from me. I'm gonna mention that expert later on who mentioned those numbers. All right. And then the third set of data that we're waiting on is the new generation TIL. For those who worried about the competition coming for Iovance, you can forget about it. Okay, because the company's already in phase 2 of the next generation TIL,
Yeah.
IOV 4001, which is a PD-1 inactivated TIL. That's very important because anti-PD-1 drug is massive. One
Keytruda.
one company makes 45% of the revenue on one drug, Keytruda.
Yeah.
Okay, it is an anti-PD-1 drug. Okay, so now you have Amtagvi that has that ability, just like Keytruda, built in, and it is genetically,
Okay.
yeah, it's
So is that the
genetically
next
engineered.
genetic? Is
Yeah,
that the next generation till? It
yes,
has the
yes,
Keytruda like
yes, ability.
compound within the till itself.
Correct. It is engineered using talent gene editing. This is a partnership
Wow.
with Selectus. Okay, so
Okay.
so just imagine. So people were talking
Are they
about
using? Do you know if they're using CRISPR technology for that, or is that?
no CRISPR. There are two gene editing technique. One is CRISPR. The other one, which is actually older than CRISPR, is called Talent. TALEN. Okay,
Oh,
and
okay.
Selectus is the company in France that owns that patent. All right.
Okay.
So that now RV 4001 is being studied in 2 disease states, in 2 types of cancer, solid tumors. One is melanoma, second line melanoma. Okay, and that is the set of data that's about to be released in the second half of 2025.
For the this is the 4001.
Yes, and then
Okay.
it is also being studied in second line non-small cell lung cancer. We're not getting data for that this time around. I'm not sure when, probably sometime 2026. I'm very excited. I'm actually really excited about this new generation TIL. All right, and then the next one is we could be they could be announcing they have submitted, or Switzerland could be announcing they approve Amtagvi. All right, so that could be big because remember when Canada announced that they approve Amtagvi marketing rights, it moved up 17% after hours, right? And then number five. Number five to me is very important. I want to see how Q3 number, the earnings for Q3. That's on probably
When is that?
November 7th, I think.
November?
Yeah, November 7th, I believe. That will be huge because I want to see, because last quarter was 24% growth quarter over quarter. All right. If they can repeat that, that would be amazing. Right. And then the margin was 30%, 31%. If we could see like 35, 36, or even 40% margin, that's going to be tremendous if we see those kind of things. Now, what makes me feel good about that? Because they reiterated the guidance of 250 to 300 after Q2 as well, because they're seeing accelerated demand for AMTAGVI and Proleukin. All right. So what makes me feel good about all of this, especially the data for non-small cell lung cancer, endometrial cancer, and IOV 4001. At one of the conference calls, management was saying, they asked if they're going to wait until these, either ASCO or SITC cancer meetings to release the data. They actually said it probably will not match up. We prefer to release these data via PR because we want visibility. Okay.
I see. So they're
So
not gonna release it at ASCO or like traditionally where these things are released. They're gonna
right,
do it themselves.
right, because that is way better because you get a double hit, right?
Yeah.
You release a
ASCO just
PR.
happened.
Yeah. So it'll be next year, but
Yeah, we
you
don't want to wait that long, anyways.
right, because the company said it's going to be in the second half of 2025. So,
Right,
but they're
right.
saying, yeah, it could be months before and that happens all the time. So what
Sure.
they're saying is, we are going to kill shorts. We are going to release via PR, because what happened is if they release it at conferences, then they may get abstracts beforehand, right? So the shorts could actually cover and stuff like that beforehand. Well, in the PR, it comes suddenly in the morning or late afternoon. It's always before market or after market.
So do you know what they're waiting on to release it now? Is it the study's final data cleanup or?
Yeah. Okay. So for non-small cell lung cancer, I tweeted this out. I think we'll get that in December because they said that we want as much time as possible on this one because we know, okay, we know AMTAGVI does really well long term.
Yeah.
Meaning we want the number on duration of response as high as we can.
And
Um,
this is just a regular Amtagvi, right? This is not the 4001.
correct,
Okay.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. Okay, and then on endometrial cancer, same thing is AMTAGVI. It's just normal AMTAGVI. All right, and then RV 4001. So yeah, it's so these five things. Imagine the level that we are around $2.17 now or something like that. Imagine if management would hit in waves like release one massive data on non-small cell lung cancer being positive, and then wait for a week and then bam, or maybe like randomly like 3 days later. It's going to be massive.
Interesting.
So.
And I like that like the PD-1 mixture with the TIL because that's another infusion, right? That's another
Yeah.
round
Yeah.
that they don't have to do.
Right.
Another
And
cycle.
then, yeah. And then further down the road, which we should be, the company is going to file an IND, okay, investigation new drug
Wow.
for IOV 5001, which is an IL-12 interleukin 12 tether TIL. In simulation, what they are seeing is that it has the power 6 times the power of normal TIL, meaning MTACV, 6 times the cancer cell killing ability than normal TIL without using IO2, my friend. Imagine
Without
that.
the IL-2 embedded,
With
just like the Keytruda embedded.
so this is basically um, ILV 5001 is, it's like, because IL-12 by itself, that's pretty good cancer killing ability by itself. And
So
that's
what
why
I'm seeing,
when you attach it with that, you don't really need IL-2,
right? And the
It
IL-2 is
does.
not fun to take,
IL-2
like
is
according to that.
toxic. Yeah,
It's toxic. Yeah,
it is toxic. And so,
they're
um,
hospitalized. They have to be hospitalized when doing that. So if you can eliminate, or if you
yeah,
can combine that with the tail, it's just
yeah.
one and
So,
done.
those are 5 catalysts.
Mm.
And so if they all kind of come in, I mean, it's going to be really, the share price is going to go really, really high, because it speaks to not just the present, especially the earning, but the future. Okay. The future. Now, speaking of the future, I sent this YouTube video about Dr. Kelly Mohiran on Till, and she knows Emtalvi intimately. She does a clinical trial. She still she does surgery for current patient who
Was
needs
that the
Emtalvi.
City of Hope? Was
City of
that the
Hope
City of Hope
video.
one?
I'll send that out.
Okay.
And in that video, she talks about Iovance as well. But at minute 30, I'm gonna send this YouTube out.
Mm-hmm.
At minute 30, she was asked, well, during the interview, she's saying that what she is saying, what she's telling physicians, the oncologists now is, once the patient stop responding to 1-2 lines of therapy, go ahead and start thinking about Amtagvi.
Yes, I saw that last night.
Yeah.
I
So,
caught that
jump.
too.
Yep.
She's like, we need to start encouraging these physicians.
Yep.
If you don't see a response after the first, definitely the second round, it's time to start thinking till.
Yep. And guess what? She was aware of the data, because she said, now we have data,
Yeah. Yeah.
showing that healthier patients respond better to TIL therapy. Okay. But then at minute 30, that's like toward the end of the interview, she was asked if she thinks that TIL therapy could be used in an adjuvant setting. What
Ad-
is adjuvant? Okay, what is adjuvant? When a medication is being used in an adjuvant kind of purpose, adjuvant is preventive. Okay.
preventive. Yeah.
So think about this. If you're thinking,
I
if
got the
you're think,
video.
yeah, that one. If you are thinking that TIL therapy is too tough and it's going to be obsolete, this gentleman, this doctor, asked Dr. Mohiran, do you think in the future, he said 5 to 10 years from now, if TIL therapy could be used in an adjuvant setting, meaning it could be actually used to prevent cancer
Hmm.
from progressing. So think about that for a moment.
Especially if the biomarkers get better, right? Or
Right. Well, yeah, the tumor microenvironment. Okay, so I'll
so
talk
it's
about that.
almost like a vaccine in that
Well, so
case.
yeah, so what she is saying is, they are seeing that TIL therapy is so effective. Why are we saving it until stage 4? melanoma, until stage 4 lung cancer, until stage 4 endometrial cancer. Why are we waiting?
I think it's
Okay,
dollar bill, no?
could be, but if they go through all these lines, 4 or 5 lines, how much money is that? And
That's more, yeah.
most importantly, how much is a life worth? Okay, so imagine the story of Chris White. Okay,
Hmm.
he went through so many lines of treatment, and it beat him up.
Yeah.
Every line is a battle for the patient, and they lose every time. All of these, uh, you know, BRAF inhibitor, anti PD-1, CTLA-4, the cytotoxic, T lymphocyte associated protein 4, you know, it's just one thing after another. Radiation, chemo, it beat this patient up. That's why
Mhm.
that question came up. That that would she see TIL therapy being used in adjuvant, meaning they're gonna move it not even first line, but even preventive line.
Yeah.
So if you think that TIL therapy is too harsh and what should be saved for last, it's the opposite, right? But think and also I want to share this too. MTAC-V is the very first TIL that was approved. The company is not stopping at MTAC-V. That's why we have
Yeah.
4001. That's why we have 5001. That's why Iovance is also working on the new generation of IO2.
And they're probably going to go after other indications, breast
Oh yeah,
cancer,
yeah.
things like
It-
that.
it-
If you're going to
well,
talk
they said it.
neoadjuvant, adjuvant,
Yeah, they
yeah.
said it because especially with the new generation TIL, it's going to open doors to other solid tumor and Dr.
Imagine you catch one in the neoadjuvant setting in breast cancer right before they
Yeah,
recommend mastectomy.
yeah,
You
yeah.
want to
I mean,
try TIL and then see, or just
yeah,
mastectomy currently is the standard of care, right? Not a lot of
yeah,
women are okay necessarily with that. Like if they had an alternative, would be good.
yes. And so they're talking about TIL therapy in futuristic terms of use. But here are short on X talking about, yeah, it's too
Hmm.
harsh, But
Hmm.
medicine, let me remind you, my friends, medicine is technology. All right. Technology, what does technology do? It improves, it changes. Okay. Look at NVIDIA.
Yeah,
You know, how many
that's the
type
new
of chips
Exxon
do they
Mobil,
have
man.
now? I mean, before the X100, X200, Blackwell, now Rubin, and they're not gonna stop at Rubin. They
Remember
have
when Exxon Mobil was the biggest market cap in the world? It wasn't that long ago. It was like early 2000s. That's a Nvidia is the new Exxon Mobil.
yeah,
Is the is the new oil.
yeah. So what I'm saying is, and then of course, what makes me very hopeful and bullish about Iovance is the new hires, the new
Hmm.
CFO, Colleen Roche, with her experience with
She's a rock
Biogen,
star.
with
Yeah.
Pfizer. I mean, this is a huge company, and she had this experience at launching these massive drugs, and she's already put her fingerprint on this downsizing, restructuring, saving the company at least $100 million per year now, and and she is so smart, and I love
You
it.
know she was handpicked by Wart Rothbaum, huh? It just has his fingerprints all over it.
Yep, yep, and then the new senior VP of regulatory strategy has so many years of experience working in the FDA, working
Hmm.
uh, on the arm of that approves cancer therapy. He was
Yeah.
part of that team that approves cancer drugs. Now he's working for Iovance. Think about that. Think about the relationship that he still has.
Mm.
Okay. And of all the drugs that is coming, all the indication that Iovance is going after, this hire is so smart, so strategic, because the administration is so aggressive in beating cancer, and I believe that it's going to serve Iovance really well. This new position that was created,
Mm.
and Mark Theoret, and so I'm very bullish. The company, I feel like, is going to be the biggest turnaround story in biotech, and here we are buying at the bottom. To me, the risk is so manageable. The reward is just, to me, is so exponential,
It
and the
seems like it.
ceiling for Ivans is just unlimited to me.
People still have concerns. Like we'll get to Elvis right now before we move on to the next ticker. Um, but let me put Elvis's question here. When you get to it, quarter four sales impact due to shutdown of facility impact. They said this year will have the same impact as last year, and that it was the last year for this issue. Do you see Canada helping out? This will be, I believe, the next quarterly earnings discussed more.
Yeah. Um, Now, every shutdown is going to be different. Okay. So they had the first shutdown last year, and that would have some learning experience there. They would be more prepared this time around in organizing the patient schedule around it more. Okay. So that was, again, I keep going back to the fact that when Amtagvi was launched, it was just somebody standing in front of the rainforest and staring at it. And because they have to go in it, they have to make their own path. So there's going to be a lot of learnings involved. I feel like the last shutdown last year, they have learned more from that. So the fact that management reaffirmed their full year guidance of 250 to 300 million dollars, they already taken this shutdown in consideration as well. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, it depends on how soon they can get settled in Canada, to where we see some patients getting treated there. I hope they get it done soon. I have not heard anything from the company to say if they've set up one ATC there yet. But they said that they are working on it immediately, right? So hopefully we'll get some
And
deal. But
turning those hospitals into MTAGV treatment centers was amazing.
oh yes, yeah, yes. That to me is what is just amazing, because most of the patients come from these community hospitals.
If it works, right? It's a big if, but
Yeah,
it has to work too.
yes, and
Mm.
so now they make it to where they make to where they set up to where the community hospitals have their own ATC, and
Right.
then to help them even more, hey, you don't have to buy drugs from us. You work with this specialty pharmacy. They do all the paperwork for you. They do all the communication for you. You don't have to pay upfront like you used to. It's a huge cost, for
Mm-hmm.
you. It's a lot of risk. Sometimes the insurance wouldn't pay. So, you
Chris, the
know,
melanoma survivor, said the sooner the better for Till, the more likely it will be durable and curative.
there you go.
See, you're getting into like this neoadjuvant breast cancer. I'm telling you, 'cause
Yep.
I worked in that field for a couple of years. These women, it's devastating for them to have to do mastectomy at 30 years old, 35 years old. If they had this as an option, neoadjuvant, even if
Yeah.
the doctors say, I
I'm
still
just
think
telling
the
you,
tried
man.
and true is
People don't think
mastectomy.
about these things. Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
they don't think.
exactly.
They
I
don't
agree.
think.
I just don't understand. Well, I understand the fact that Katura does an amazing job.
Hmm.
Okay. And all
Hmm.
of these and your anti PD-1 and the checkpoint inhibitors, they do a good job. Okay. But the thing is, the majority of these patients, the cancer return.
Yeah,
Okay. So, but
it's sad, man.
but okay. Another thing, and thank you for the question, Elvis. From here, I think we'll be fine. I
Any
think we'll be fine.
concerns about the comments for EU? He's referring
Yeah.
to the last teleconference.
Oh yeah, yeah. The EU again. I kind of voiced my frustration against the EU. They they don't. It's so funny. So they are now more strict than the FDA of the United States. Okay, that is ridiculous. All right, to begin with, there's so many countries in EU, and of course the cost structure and all that.
Yeah.
And so they want to play devil's advocate. They want to oh, we're very strict. Well, who pays the price? Who pays the price? The patients.
Yeah.
There's so many patients waiting on treatment and anxiety to come, and now they have to wait longer.
The EU is a perfect example of regulatory bloat, which is exactly what we wanted to avoid when the country chose Trump, because a big part of it was his healthcare reform. And I'm telling you, the people he put in office, I was a little worried with RFK, but he's balanced by
Yeah.
very practical, pragmatic
Yep.
clinicians,
Yep.
Macari and Vinay.
Yeah. So Elvis, I'm not concerned about EU, and I'm going to answer
Yeah.
you why. Because I was about to go into it, but this question is perfect. Okay. So Amtagvi is approved for second-line melanoma, a metastatic melanoma, and they're basically stage 3 or 4. Okay. These are the worst of the worst type already. They're dying. Okay. So there's not many patients, but there's enough patients where the company can make, the company said, $1 billion a year. So think about that. All right. Melanoma by itself. Somebody tweeted this. Don, he tweeted this earlier. I said, well, why are you stealing my thunder? Think
I
about
saw
this,
that.
my friends. Just the melanoma indication by itself, iovance, okay, can produce $1 billion annually just in the United States. Just in the United States. Okay, so assume that we don't get indications of lung cancer. We don't get indications of endometrial cancer. They could possibly still make about $2 billion with just melanoma. Okay,
Yeah.
when it's ramped up. So that is why I'm saying that when you ask what is the ceiling for iovance, I don't even know what that is. If we get approved for non-small cell lung cancer, second line and front line, melanoma is going to second line now, but front line, and then endometrial cancer, second line, and then front line. That's why I'm saying the ceiling is so high. I don't even know, but just melanoma by itself, okay, is enough to propel this company, the market cap to back to 18 by just melanoma by itself.
By itself, I think so. I mean, the valuations at one point were crazy. They're getting there again. So if it's the one and done treatment and a novel, that oncologist surgeon was so excited about this. She's like,
Yes.
both of them actually were like, you
Yep.
don't see paradigm shift, mechanism of action. We've
Yeah.
seen the same old thing for years.
And then they also brought up the point. He brought up the point that when checkpoint inhibitors came out, like Keytruda, there were doubts too, right?
Yep.
They say, oh, it's really risky. What are the side effects? What this and that? They're saying that about till now is, oh, manufacturing is complicated and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, what else do you want? The fact of the matter is, and Chris knows this, the cancer cells are too damn smart. And this is another thing that was brought up that I learned from Dr. Mahiran on the video. Do you know why when they resect the cancer to cultivate, why don't they pick out a certain type of till and cultivate them to billions instead of just non-selectively cultivate billions and billions of
Right.
whatever T cell, it
CAR
doesn't
T.
matter.
Yeah, all
Well,
of them.
yeah. And the answer that she gave, I did not know, was that we still don't know which type of T cell responds to that particular cancer in that particular patient. So that's how nitty gritty it has to get. So therefore, you can't just randomly pick your tail. You just cultivate whatever you resected and cultivate it to multiple billions and let them fight it out.
And they're keeping data on all this too. They're getting the receptor phenotype, genotype. What is it, positive, negative? They're getting all this stuff too, based on the TILs that they're able to get. Which,
Yeah,
for those that don't know, the TIL, they actually have to extract at least a 1.5 centimeter section of the tumor to get the TIL out. And people were asking question, what if it's in the liver? It's very no, they can get in the lymph nodes. She mentioned this on the show
it may
yesterday.
even be
Easily,
better. Yeah,
she said it
because
may even be better. Yeah.
yeah, because because that tumor may be too necrotic, meaning there's so many
Hmm.
cell deaths in there, and so you can't really resect that and use that because the TILs are too weak or almost dead. So you have to find another location. So it's
Hmm.
metastatic. That means more than likely they're going to be found in the lymph nodes,
In the
and those
lymph
are going to
nodes.
be healthier TIL. So
Hmm.
fascinating. But yeah, so I'm very
I
bullish.
think so too, man. I think so too. And Chris is still watching, and he's gonna join on. He says he's 100%. He wants to be on and discuss this, and he owns no stock, no financial interest, no
Okay,
conflicts of interest. He did write the book. I bought it while we were talking. It's
sweet.
only $12.
Awesome. All right. So thanks, Chris, for joining. The next talk we're talking about is not related to um,
Medicine.
medicine. Well, actually, it does
Indirectly, yeah.
indirectly. So the next ticker that is a non-biotech is gsrt, and it is a spec. And I've bought specs all the time before. And so, for those who don't know, a SPAC is a blank check company. It's basically a shell company. They have the money, they raise the money, and then they choose whatever company that they want to buy. So they want to invest in that company, right? And so that's what a SPAC does. Okay, so it's kind of like a reverse merger kind of thing. So this particular SPAC, GSRT, chose a company, a micro modular nuclear reactors company. It's an Italian company, and it's called Terra Innovatum. All right. And you may or may not know by now, the hottest sector besides AI currently is the nuclear energy. Okay. And there's a correlation with that because as the AI revolution further, they have to build the data center, you know, to train AI and things like that. And they consume a lot of energy. Currently, with just civil use, normal typical use, we already don't have enough energy. That's why you have rolling blackouts in certain cities in the summer, right? So the grid is still currently not even enough energy. So imagine these massive data centers being built. You know, currently the big data center companies are just being built. They're not even running yet. Many of them. Okay, so imagine all of that will go online. Well, who's going to supply that energy? And one of the cleanest energy, consistent source of energy is nuclear energy. Okay, and
That's the future.
that is the future. And what I love about, and so you've heard of Oklo, you've heard of New Scale, it's just
I don't
a
think a
bunch of
lot of
other.
these people. I don't think they heard about all this stuff. It's new,
Yeah.
but
So
they're basically way valued like what 10 times what this thing.
so in OKLO is worth its value at about 60 times or 66 times the value of Innovatum right now, which is
Wow.
ridiculous because they're all in the same space and none
Mm.
of them have produced the product yet.
Right, they're all pre-revenue,
They
like
are
pre-profit.
pre-revenue, but
Yeah,
yet GSRT has a market cap of only about half of AQST. I mean,
yeah.
think about that. Think about that for a second, right? And so the to me because and then every spec the floor price the spec price is $10. Okay, that's the price. Okay, it's kind of like a pre-IPO price, $10. Okay, and so you know Oklo and NewScale they went through the same process as GSRT as a spec, and they started out with the same price, $10. Okay,
Hmm.
and those who want to buy before it became public, they can pay a little bit more, like I did. My average is 1062, and then I bought for my daughter today, so her average is lower than mine. Okay, but the
Yeah,
thing
because
is, Oklo started the same price at $10, has 15x this year. SMR, which is New Scale Power, 5x this year. Okay. And again, they are in the same space and pre revenue. They have not been approved by NCR yet.
Mhm.
The Nuclear Regulatory Commission.
It's new,
And
very new.
GSRT is being fast tracked to be approved, and the NCR and NRC said that by the end of 2025, again, just like IFNs, this is a massive catalyst, that it will decide to approve innovative technology, the solo cube technology. And each of these cube can provide 1 megawatt of electricity. Okay. And it's modular, meaning the government, the military, space, healthcare industry can buy one at a time. Oh, I need three, I need four, I need 20, I need 50. Already before they became public, many companies have come forward to sign memorandum of understanding. The city of New York, city of Chicago's already kind of signed contracts for 50 each. Okay.
Wow.
And so, I mean, I'm telling you, because they could be deployed anywhere around the world, and because they're so safe that there's no emergency containment zone, there's no risk of leak and things like that. And so again, if you, I challenge you, if you're interested in, can invest in GSRT, and that will be the biggest catalyst. Is on October 7th. They will have a general meeting
Mm.
for shareholders in GSRT to approve the merger, which they will, because typical shareholders don't have enough votes versus the owner. Okay,
Right.
founder led company, which I absolutely love. Rocket Lab is one, AUR is one,
Well,
Palantir.
Oklo 10x then went this year. It went from like $10 to 111, more than 10x.
Yeah, oh, it's 15x. Yeah, because
15x.
it went to 150 something from ten
Yeah.
dollars.
And they
Yeah,
do have revenue. They do have revenue now. Their PE is 25. They're losing 7 cents earning per share last call. But the point is, like Jensen said this on the Nvidia CEO on the podcast, the rate limiting step of growing AI capabilities is energy.
yeah,
And Elon tweeted,
Yes.
At some point, humanity is going to harvest all the energy out of our sun, and then out of the solar system, and then out of the universe to power all this stuff.
Yeah.
So there's supply and demand. Like, they need more companies like this. There's enough room for all of them to do
Yes.
this.
And even if you have, let's say every of these companies went online
Hmm.
and have their own technology being deployed,
Hmm.
there's still enough room for more
Still,
to come. And what I'm
yeah,
saying is, you are buying at the current price about $10.38.
yeah,
Are
yeah,
you kidding me? At a market cap at about 350 million market cap.
yeah. It's like
I mean,
two
yeah,
in iova.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's half of Iovan's market cap. I mean, think about that. Now,
yeah.
in the case of Iovan's, at least the pipeline is pretty amazing, right? So,
They're already saving lives. Yeah.
it is gsrt, and you know this, Dan. I don't randomly release non-biotech.
No.
It's just I'm extremely picky about these, and every one of
Yeah.
them I release have done really well. AUR, I got in
All
like
right. Yeah.
two something, 180 something, and it went up to like 8 or 9. All right, Rocket Lab
Hawk.
again
Hawk.
around
I didn't
14.
get
It went,
into.
yeah, and
Uh,
well, Hawk is healthcare still, yeah, but Hawk also went up quite a bit too. It
Hawk
dropped
went
back
up.
down.
Yeah. I didn't buy into any of them except iova and now gsrt. I wish I missed. I just didn't have the funds for it.
Yeah, but
IVF didn't do so well though. I think
well,
it was IVF. Yeah.
to me that was a binary, and I went in a small position on that one, and
Yeah. And you did give a disclaimer. This is binary.
yeah, and so I've decided after IVF, I'm like, screw that, I'm not doing that anymore,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
just a one shot thing, and I feel like, hey, if I make profits of that, I'll put it in Iovance or aqst or whatever
Man,
else.
the market cap of that thing is 3 million. My small business market cap is bigger than that one. That's IVF. But you
Yeah,
did give the disclaimer on that one too, and that was a very Trump one.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was going to be
and
pro all
but to
this.
me, small position, worst case, that is tax harvesting for me. I'm gonna
Mhm,
leave it
mhm.
until December and see what happens. But if not, whatever. But yeah, you know,
It's
uh,
part of the game. You're not going to win them all, but you on that one you gave a pretty good disclaimer.
yeah, yep. There's only one, catalyst. That's it. So,
Yeah.
so,
Iova's got a bunch coming up, 5 before this year's over.
yeah. But GSRT, I'm telling you, if you have kids, I
Yeah.
told one of my friends, give them some shirt GSRT. That will. Oh, by the way, so after the vote on October 7th, it will take about 2 or 3 business days to fully trade, to get approved and settle, and then it will be traded on Nasdaq with a different name, a different ticker called NKLR, nuclear. NKLR. You don't have to do anything. It will be converted automatically. Now, one thing I want to warn you, if you go into your brokerage account on the day that it goes live with a new ticker, your old ticker, it will say delisted. Don't freak out. It's like, oh my God, where's all my money? And
Yeah.
so, TSRT will be delisted, and then NKLR will be live on Nasdaq. Okay. Another thing I want to warn you about is the price movement. I anticipate it's going to move up quite a bit as we get closer to October 7. It may not. And then after that, it may go up more, especially if it doesn't run up. It's going to go up more. But if it runs up a little bit, it's going to go down. But to me, there's an opportunity to load up, because that's what happened to upload, that it goes up and then it drops down, and then it goes, as you know now, from 9 something to 150 something. So if
Hmm.
you want to invest in Innovatum, it is a long-term investment. If you want to trade it, just because of the SPAC movement, volatility, that's up to you. You set your own goals, but I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some volatility in between that time. Okay,
Yeah.
but if your time horizon, and I tweeted out about sight and vision. So when I invest in the GSRT, I don't see the volatility, even though I tell you that. But what I see is the power demand. What I see is the market cap of 350 million. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
A micro modular nuclear reactor
In a mega
company.
cycle, in the middle of, at the beginning of a AI mega cycle.
Yes, yes. So that's why I tweeted
That's
out.
the whole thesis you need, man. I mean, that
I
at
tweeted out
300
this
million.
morning. And by the way, the company management said every day they're receiving calls, wanted to be partner, wanted to sign memorandum of understanding of pre-buying. Think about this. The company said we will not deploy until 3 years from now, but people already want to buy because
Hmm.
3 years from now it may be more expensive for them. You see, so they
Yeah.
want to lock that in, lock the current price in, and so as you can see, almost every day now there's a PR, a partnership of some type. So imagine after the merger is announced to a new ticker of NKLR, I guarantee you management wants to protect the shareholders by saving those massive PR for after the merger. Okay.
Mm.
And the reason why Oklo went 15x and SMR went 15x is because of the PRs.
So they had PR bottled up for strategic use.
Yeah, but another thing is that 15x and then the 5x has a lot to do with President Trump and his nuclear
Of
policy.
course. Of
You
course.
know, and so imagine now
I mean, you went
GSRT.
from one administration that was anti-nuclear,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
to
and
let's do what we can. China's already ahead. Let's
yes,
catch up. You know, this is a
I,
dream come true for this kind of stock.
yes, I am telling you, I'm pounding the table for you right now. You are getting in right now. You buying this for your sons or daughters, leaving
Okay, if you
it
had
in here?
100K, how would you split it between aqst, iova, and gsrt right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Everyone's different. Consider your age, blah blah blah. This is
yeah,
not financial advice. I'm
somebody
just
asked me that.
curious.
Somebody asked me that earlier, but I kind of answer it indirectly.
Yeah.
One, for Iovans, the risk is high,
Hmm.
but the reward to me is so high that it's gonna be kind of neck and neck with GSRT. GSRT to me is the risk to me is very low. You
Yeah.
know, it's very low, and why I say that is because the it's all about approval, and the reason their advantage is they're using the existing approved nuclear components in the solo. Okay, so
Okay.
that kind of helped fast track the approval process already.
They followed in the waves of like AQST with spray, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. With the current
Hmm.
approval, so they're
Hmm.
not going doing anything that is new, that is current. There's no code
Yeah.
that is written. So to me, for me,
Iova's doing a new.
yeah. So for me, I said it that now GSRT or NKLR is now my largest position. Second to that is Iovance, and third is AQC because
Mm.
AQC only has basically one or two catalysts left, and one of that, one of those catalysts is binary, which is approval or denied.
Hmm.
Uh, so there's a chance that it could be denied if the FDA wants additional information, especially when Spry, did a citizen petition against
Citizens
accuracy.
arrest.
Dirty move, Spry. And by the way, Spry is going to be a $4 stock in 6 months.
Yeah, they're fucking the
So
patients over with that. That's a bad look.
yeah, it is
My answer
a
to that one, the way I would divide that pie, I go whatever I studied the most and am most convicted from because you studied it the most, you're
yeah,
biased.
yeah,
50% of that. So 50K into for me would be a QST. The other 50 do the same thing. And whichever one you are the most convicted on from the last two studying, 75-25. And then you can reallocate based on like when your
yeah.
conviction grows when you study them, but that's how I
Yes.
would start it.
And by the way, my allocation changes all the time. So of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
accuracy was by far my largest position,
yeah.
right? And then it became iovans, of course, no VKTX before that. So it changes. It depends on what's going on, right? And then I want to make my money work for me, right? And so for me right now, GSRT present a massive opportunity, and so yeah, and so
Mm-hmm.
my biggest is GSRT, events, and AQST. Okay,
Wow.
so it's up to you, but that's the way I would roll. But yeah,
It's the inverse of mine, but I use
yeah,
my rules because I have to get him out of my own head, so I have to study. Whichever one I studied the most, that's the hill I'm dying on. And
but yeah, so make sure that you research
mm,
GSFT and Terra Innovatum, and I warn you right now, the more you read about Terra Innovatum, the more share you're gonna want to buy. I warn you right now.
yeah, man,
Oh,
we got enough right now with
yeah,
these three.
yeah, and the thing is, the SPAC company, which is GSRT, this particular management, the SPAC management, not the Terra Innovator management,
Yeah,
they have gone through 20 different acquisitions of different companies. They said on the investor day that Terra Innovatum is by far their favorite acquisition.
hmm,
That says a lot to me. And
wow.
so, anyways, but you can't go wrong with either one of these three. And again, in biotech, I don't diversify because they're so high risk. For me, in biotech, Avans and AQST, that's enough for me. And then, of course, non-biotech, I'm in GSRT right now, and that's my biggest position overall. Um,
I got
so,
you.
um, but yeah, man. So by the way, on back to Iovans, I believe that we will get data on IOV 4001 before SITC, which is November 57 or something like that.
And is that the
So
non-small cell lung cancer or the endometrial? That's the non-small cell.
that is on second line melanoma.
Ah, okay, okay. With
Yeah,
the new generation till.
correct. So
Mm.
because SITC is a setting for new and innovative molecules and things like that. Okay.
What's
Uh,
this conference called? What is the acronym?
SITC is SITC. Okay.
Ah, I see.
So yeah,
Society of Immunotherapy of
yeah,
Cancer.
yep. And this is where they release data on 5001. This is where they release data on a combination
It's gonna
with
be in Tucson, man.
it is
That's where I went to school. That's my second home. Yeah, Tucson, Arizona.
okay. Well then, hmm.
I might go.
I'm
It's
not
a
sure
driving
if I
distance away.
qualify. Well, I'm not sure you and I are qualified to go there.
I can get in. I do cancer studies.
You
I
do?
there's a way. Yeah, there's a way I can.
Well, dude.
I'll
I
be
may join
live
you
streaming
then.
from there. Hey guys, look what I'm at. The posters.
I may join you.
Let's do
But
it. When
yeah,
is it? I'll look it up. I'll
yeah.
look it up right now.
But anyways, I'm very excited about aqst. It
Yeah.
is still, um, you know, it's just so sentimental to me, that company. And I I love the management. I love Dan Barber. I love Sherry, and of course, it's just I root for it hard. And when I saw what Spry did, it it triggered me, and it's dirty. It's dirty.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, I again I said it on here several months ago. 99% chance, and the film's going to be approved. And I'm 6-0 on PDUFA. It's going to be my 7-0. I have no doubt it's going to be approved.
I have very few doubts about that one, about AQST.
Yep.
Well, Biotech Scanner, thank you so much. I'm getting blasted with text. I'm actually 30 minutes late for another call, but I'm gonna get in on there. It's a 2-hour one. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
We have our own conference we have to plan too for March in San Diego. So it's for
Yep.
clinical researchers, and
Okay.
I got to jump on. But
Wait.
thank you so much for coming on. I really learned from this. You forced me to study these things more so, and iova, like you forced me to do the due diligence because we do these shows. So thank you for coming on. We're gonna get Chris on the
Yep.
next one.
So
Everybody go
excited.
follow Biotech Scanner. If you're watching this on YouTube later, probably tomorrow, uh, that's his X account. And jump in. X is nice. The water is warm. And join us on there. Thank you, Biotech Scanner.
All right. Thanks, bud. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Bye. Bye.